Hello! In this video, I would like to speak about myths about plant proteins and plant protein sources. Okay, first, the myths. We hear them all the time and they aren't true. Number one, plant proteins are incomplete. Incomplete protein means that the protein sources lack a specific amino acid or have a really low amount of a specific amino acid. Well, this might be true that some plant protein sources are low in one specific amino acid, other plant protein sources are low in another specific amino acid. However, if you eat a variety of plant protein sources, you will get all the amino acids you need. For this reason, it is important to eat a variety of plant proteins. For this reason, the second myth, that plant proteins are not as good as animal proteins, is not true either. So if you consume a variety of plant protein sources, you're okay. Just to give an example, grains and peanuts are low in an amino acid that is called lysine. However, soy products and some legumes, for example wild beans, kidney beans and chickpeas, are high in this amino acid, but they have a lower amount of sulfur-containing amino acid. For this reason, it is important to combine both, for example, eating rice and beans, so you have enough of both amino acids. However, you don't have to eat both at the same meal. That's another myth, that you have to eat different plant foods together to get the same ratio or enough of all amino acids. It's enough if you eat them, spread throughout the day at different meals. Okay, another myth is that the nutritional quality of plant protein sources is not good as the one of animal protein sources. Well, for the research studies that were performed on this topic, often mice or animals were used. However, the amino acid metabolism is different among species. For this reason, the findings that were found in mice studies don't apply to humans. Actually, some of the other studies that used humans as a subject have shown that the nutritional quality was underestimated and that the plant protein is good as well. Okay, another myth is that plant protein is not well digested. Well, here it depends on the protein source and on the preparation, if it's cooked or not. So you can't generalize it at all. And now to the last myth, that you can't get enough protein if you eat just plants. And this is not true. For this reason, I will give you some examples of plant protein sources to show where you get your protein from, because that's a question I get asked all the time. You're vegan and you lift and you're strong, where do you get your protein from? Okay, now I will go down a list. Of course, there are also vegan plant protein powders. That's another question I get if I take protein powders. Yes, there are, for example, pea protein powders, rice protein powders, soy protein powders, and they have lots and lots of protein. Also, another isolated protein source is wheat gluten flour. It has around 76 gram protein per 100 gram. Soy flour has 40 gram of protein per 100 gram. Other soy products such as tofu, tempeh have up to 10 to 20 gram per 100 gram. Then textured vegetable protein is a processed source, but it has up to 50 grams protein. There are some nice other sources, for example, fat-reduced almond flour or peanut flour. They have 40 to 50% protein. Then, of course, there are legumes. Usually, if you take dry weight, they have around 20 to 25 gram of protein per 100 gram. Nutritional yeast has a lot of protein, 50 gram of protein. Also, cocoa powder has around 20 gram of protein per 100 gram. Then you have vegetables, for example, lots of leafy greens or different cabbages or broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and so on. Percentage-wise, they have lots of protein if you relate it to the calories they have. But gram-wise, it's just around maybe 3 to 5 gram of protein per 100 gram. For this reason, if you want to cover your protein requirement with green veggies, you have to eat a lot. Another vegan protein source that are nuts and seeds. They have around 20 to 30 gram of protein per 100 gram. Peanuts have the highest amount, around 30 gram of protein. Then, of course, there are different grains and pseudo grains. They have around 10 to 15 gram of protein per 100 gram. Yes, and I think that were my main protein sources I use. Maybe to address the question of actually how much protein do you need? Well, the RDA says you need 0.8 gram per kilogram or 0.36 gram per pound of body weight. However, RDA is the minimal requirement. How much you need not to get deficient, or that the risk isn't that high that you get deficient. It is not the amount you need for optimal performance and to feel really well. Especially if you have athletic goals, if you want to build muscle, you should consume more protein, which is around 2 grams per kilogram or 0.91 gram per pound of body weight. This is especially important for people who are dieting and are under calorie restriction. Then it is more important to consume more protein than as if you would try to actually gain muscle. Because if you eat a lot, then your body has enough energy it can take for all the different tasks and, just for your athletic activities. But if you are under caloric restriction state, then there's a higher chance that your body will utilize muscle as a fuel. For this reason, it is important to eat more protein if you're dieting. Okay, I hope this video was helpful. You can find more of this topic on my blog, which is also sciencestrengths.wordpress.com. And thanks a lot.